custom cobblestone driveway. Special rolling tools can create it for you. Or maybe the natural look of a random stone driveway strikes your fancy. An inlaid pattern process made this striking design. Customized geometric patterns. You bet. An inlaid paper pattern made this work. Rather have red brick? Or how about blue? You can have almost any shade you can imagine. And exposed aggregate opens up a whole new world of colors and striking textures. As an architectural technique, exposed aggregate can create some truly spectacular homescapes, like this, or this, or this. And if this isn't enough homescaping, mix and match any of these exposed aggregate and pattern techniques to fit the mood and style of any home. Now here's a great example of how pattern stamping can work magic in the yard of an older home. Concrete played a big part in the success of this outdoor remodeling job. And even though the end results are magical, creating this took skilled people and careful work. I put one of my favorite contractors to work on a cottage terrace and walkway not too long ago. This is how they did it. First, they used a ready-mix concrete producer that knew how to design just the right mix for the climate and for the job. And remember, getting the right mix is the all-important first step. Concrete is basically a mixture of ingredients: Portland cement, water, and a natural aggregate such as sand and gravel or crushed stone. Getting them in just the right proportion is vitally important to the success of the job. In northern climates, an air entraining agent is also introduced into the concrete mixture. Air entraining adds millions of tiny air bubbles to the mix. This greatly increases the concrete's resistance to the potentially damaging effects of freeze-thaw cycles and de-icing chemicals. My contractor has had a lot of experience with pattern stamping, so of course he insists on using standard finishing procedures to prepare the surface for coloring. Concrete can be cast in a wide variety of colors. More subtle shades and earth tones are produced by the integral color method that mixes a coloring agent throughout the concrete at the mixer. This produces a uniform color all the way through the slab. For deeper tones, finishers use the dry shake method like they did on this job, sprinkling powdered color hardeners onto a freshly placed concrete slab and then working the color into the surface. In northern regions, the integral method may be preferred by some over the dry shake because there is less chance that overfinishing the concrete will disturb the surface air content. Both methods have been used successfully worldwide in all types of climates. Just check with your contractor or ready-mix producer as to what would best suit your particular application. The dry shake method takes two applications. Here they're casting 2/3 of the dry shake color compound onto the surface. It's important to use extra care to make sure the compound is applied evenly in order to form a uniform layer. That first application of color has to be thoroughly floated into the concrete, but not overworked. Now comes the second application of dry shake color. By the way, the color that's being applied contains a special surface hardener that will keep the concrete looking great for years to come. This too must be smooth, using either a wood bull float or, like they're doing here, with a hand float. These guys know that you shouldn't overuse the float. The concrete must be in a semi-hardened state when you begin the stamping process. Timing is critical. All stamping must be done before the concrete hardens completely. Here are the tools that will work the magic. These are specially designed stamping tools. They will make a pattern that looks just like flagstone. But you can get brick and tile patterns and many types of stone patterns. The options for you are beautiful and virtually endless. Now, the actual pattern stamping begins. By carefully placing the pattern stamping tools, the job will faithfully recreate the custom look of flagstone. Often, the weight of the worker is enough to get the job done. But to make those deeper patterns realistic, it helps to use a hand tamper to get just the right indentations. When one area is stamped, the workers simply move the pads to the next area. With a little care, it's entirely possible to do a small job with just 2 pads, but of course on bigger jobs, the more pads, the better. For those areas close to the edges of the concrete, these flexible pattern stamps turn out to be a real handy tool. The results? Fantastic! Now to finish the effect, the workers moved in with trimming tools to dress up the edges. And any imperfections that look artificial can be easily fixed. There's even a tool to help those areas that need deeper lines or where the stamping tool won't reach. And just as important as getting the right mix, the concrete must be cured properly, that is, kept moist. There are several good methods of curing. Here the guys are spraying on a special membrane-forming curing compound. Curing should begin immediately after finishing and can last from 3 to 7 days, depending on the weather. Generally, the longer the concrete is cured, the better. But whatever method your contractor uses, proper curing assures the concrete will harden uniformly and gain maximum strength. The result? Year in, year out, lifetime durability. There's one more key step. To ensure against unsightly cracks, every concrete slab must be properly jointed. These guys came back within 24 hours after the concrete was placed and used a concrete saw to make these essential cuts. But don't worry, the joints are barely visible. In fact, most homeowners don't notice them until I point them out. This same job called for a walkway with brick pattern stamping. No problem. Here the contractors are laying down the second application of a brick-colored dry shake. Then they get started with a set of brick pattern stamping tools. Just like before, do the pattern stamping and remove the patterns. Beautiful! And there we have it, a walkway that looks like brick at a fraction of the cost. Concrete is definitely the way to turn the outside of your home into an exciting and usable space. Concrete is dull, an old-fashioned relic of the 50s? Hardly. I'm recommending concrete homescaping everywhere. On the average, it represents about 2% of the total cost of the home. Yet, the value it adds is enormous. Concrete can help you make the most of starter homes, or add drama and impact to the most fashionable home, or even improve the appearance of an existing home. It's the fashionable material for wherever there's an outdoor space. Custom patios, unique walkways, elegant outdoor walls, spectacular drives, the ultimate in swimming pool decks. Or here's a surprise, a veranda built with concrete. For coordinated homescaping, stucco siding made with Portland cement blends perfectly with decorative concrete. Plus, stucco is fire safe, fashionable, and requires little maintenance. Top it all off with concrete roof tiles, classics that complement any style home in any price range. Compared to asphalt shingles, which need periodic replacement, or wood shakes, which can be a fire hazard, concrete roof tiles are fire safe. They're available in popular colors and styles from Spanish to the look of wood shakes or slate. There's no doubt that concrete has reemerged as the fashionable material for homescaping in the 90s and beyond. Affordable, durable, incredibly versatile, exciting, and safe for the family and for the environment. Fashionable too. I guess you know why I like to use concrete so much, and why the families who live in the homes I build absolutely love the way it looks and performs. So the next time you build a house or make over an existing yard, don't forget the concrete. It's the single most important ingredient for great homescaping.